In the evening around 7 p.m., I heard somebody ringing my doorbell, and it was Nina Caliente. Nina Caliente is my close neighbor. She lives in 170 Main Street, County District, together with her younger twin sister, Nina Caliente. Nina is a golf caddy at a local golf club, and this is so interesting to me because she heard that I solved the missing girl case in town recently, so she came to me asking for investigation help. And I was so excited to know what her case will be. She said that she felt like somebody unknown had been stalking her for nearly 2 weeks. Wow, the stalking case. Interesting. She talked to me from where it started. A couple of days ago, around 4:30 at dawn, when she was about to leave home for work, she found a flower bouquet in front of her door. Because the carpool already there, so Nina just brought it inside and will check it later after work. She returned from work around 11 in the morning and checked the bouquet right away. There was a card on the bouquet that said, "Lots of love to my pretty Nina from your longtime secret admirer." She asked her sister if the bouquet was actually sent for her, but Nina just said that she was not even dating somebody, and it was clear that Nina's name was written on it. On the next day, she also received the love letter from her mailbox, but it was her twin sister Dina who found it. The letter read, "Hope to be with you very soon, lots of love and kisses from your secret admirer." Nina also said to me that she had not been dating somebody, and none of her male friend or co-workers sent her the bouquet or the letter. 2 days after receiving the love letter, Nina also received an email from her stalker, which was creepier than the letter or the flower card, because the sender graduated from the creepy secret admirer to the deranged stalker, signing off as, "Your long-time secret admirer who has now become your stalker." And Nina also said that the stalker always put this strange code on his or her letters, and she could not explain since the code was not pronounceable. I said to Nina that it will be better if I can see the letters and the email directly, and so she invited me to come to her house on the next day. On Saturday afternoon, I arrived at Nina's house around 3:30. Nina said that she has been waiting for me. I also saw her twin sister Nina Caliente in the dining room. Nina directly showed me some flowers and letters that the stalker had been sending her. All the flowers were red roses, and to be honest, I did not expect that they would be this many. They were 4 rose bouquets, 2 roses in a vase, and also 2 love letters. She said that she had been receiving these nearly every day for the past 10 days, more or less. Nothing significant about the content, but just the typical love greetings. All the cards and letters were marked with the same strange signature code, that she believed they were sent by the same person, which I agreed. The last, the creepiest and horrible gift from the stalker was 2 days ago. It was a flaming bag of poo in front of her door, which of course she has thrown away and just kept the picture as the evidence. Nina told me that in the afternoon, around 3 days after the first flower sent, she has ever witnessed somebody whom she believed was a stalker ringing the doorbell. She saw probably a man from the window stalking to the front door and rang the bell. When she came out, he ran away quickly before she was able to catch him or even just to take a picture or video as the evidence. According to Nina, he appeared with all black from head to toe. Long black leather coat, black boot, and he covered his face with some kind of black ninja mask and also black goggles. Nina was so scared, and so was I now. She really had no idea who could that be. She said that her case was already reported to the police and still under the investigation. After told me the story, she took me to see the email sent from the stalker. I saw the email carefully and asked Nina to also forward the email to me. And the email read, Nina, you choose other people over me. I will be around as you know. I love you. You are very special to me, and without you in my life, there's only emptiness. Perhaps this is all supposed to happen some other way. I love you, and I only want to be part of your life. I miss you very much. You are my lady. I saw you come home after the party at PURE, and I only wish that I were at the entrance to your heart when you come home. Your longtime secret admirer who has now become your stalker. And the code. It is weird enough that the stalker using Nina's name as his or her email address. The email was sent from Nina Caliente with the address nina_teamo@gmail.com to her personal email address. At first, I pronounced the email address as Timo, but then Nina made a correction. She said it was Spanish, so it's pronounced Te amo. Te amo means I love you in Spanish. The Caliente sisters are actually of Spanish descent on their father's side, Flamenco Caliente, who is now deceased. So to me, it also indicates that the stalker also knows about her family background, which is really creepy. As the email mentioned that the stalker knew Nina attended the party at the PURE on last Wednesday, as she informed me. So it seemed that he or she traced her all the way out there like some lovesick stalker. Somehow, I was still not sure if the stalker was really a man as Nina assumed. Because he or she wore a full body covered outfit, so I really still needed to dig out more clues about that. After getting so much information from Nina, and also taking some pictures of the evidences, I was leaving for home. I said to Nina if I could manage my time, I would go to the PURE this evening, hoping to get some more clues for her case. I was thinking about all of the evidences Nina had showed me. If the stalker was a somebody new and wanted to know, make friend or date Nina, he could just have asked Nina directly without being a stalker. Did it mean that the stalker was actually somebody that Nina has rejected for a friendship or a date? Or could it be somebody that cannot expose him or herself for having any relationship with Nina because he's a celebrity, politician, or an official person? Or it was just a simply lunatic love stalker? In fact, that the Caliente sisters are quite famous in town, especially Nina. She's an active and easygoing woman. She holds access to some private and VIP club in downtown. The one that I could investigate at this time was PURE, and I went there after dinner. I arrived at PURE around 9 p.m. PURE, or some call it Pure, is the dance club located in downtown area. The club where people can dance on the dance floor, have a go at the electro dance sphere, or relax in the hot tubs upstairs. I was chatting around with some people there, and I saw an eccentric lady with a black dress. Somebody told me that the lady was Nerissa Slew. She's a professional party guest. She's one of some famous people in downtown, and people call her Miss Diva. I really could not control my curiosity about everything happened in the club. There was a dirty-looking guy arguing with a woman. I asked the bartender, whose name Alan Akagi. Alan said that the only thing he knew about the guy was a gas station attendant. He often comes to the PURE dressing inappropriately and making trouble with other customers. Interesting. I also asked Alan if he knew the Caliente sisters. He said yes, with excitement on his face, especially Nina. She's the loyal customer of the PURE and gave him plenty of tips each time she came. Alan informed me that on February 17, which is tomorrow, there will be a birthday party of Mr. Big in Lulu Lounge. I said, who is Mr. Big? Alan laughed at me as I don't know about the most famous and richest guy in downtown. Oh my god, I think I really need to go downtown Austin to know what's happening. So, the birthday guy was Peter Gregory, people call him Mr. Big. Alan said that the party will be possibly attended by celebrity, paparazzi, and other famous in town since Mr. Big has crazy popularity. It was too late at night, so I went home and I thought that I would call Nina tomorrow telling her about my findings at the PURE. And obviously, I would ask her to give me some knowledge about some famous people in downtown. And I bet Nina would come to the birthday party, and let's see if she could gain me an access to also come to that Mr. Big party at Lulu Lounge. Nina called me before I did. She said it was something important. Last night, she received a phone call that she believed was from the stalker. Because the number was private, so she preventively recorded the conversation. She said the stalker was absolutely a man. The phone call was like he's reading Nina a romantic poem in Spanish and hung up after he's done. I asked Nina just to email me the phone recording and also the written text of the poem plus the English translation since I didn't understand Spanish. I also talked to Nina about Mr. Big birthday party. She said she would definitely ask me to come together with her since she got the invitation for 2. And she also said that we need to come earlier so we can see all of the invited guests arriving. Because she said it was also possible if the stalker was one of the guests. Nina said she will pick me up using her car since, well, her car is nicer than mine and that was really important to Mr. Big. And Nina also asked me to wear a long night dress as the party dress code. I agreed with Nina and I said to her that I will study all of the findings after coming back from the party and hoping to get some more clues there. Here we are at the Lulu Lounge, arrive around 1 p.m. and the party will start on 2 p.m. And wow, I felt like a celebrity walking on the red carpet. We decided to stand next to the entrance to see all the arriving guests. It was 1:10 and the first guest arrived was the paparazzi Amanda Cox. Nina and him knew each other. They met a couple times at the party club. Suddenly we saw a slob lady with a dirty t-shirt. Seemed that the security wanted to send her away. And it reminds me about the gas station guy yesterday at the PURE. I said to Nina about the guy and she said that those guys are indeed a troublemaker. She had ever thrown a drink at him because he grossed her out when they were at the PURE a few weeks ago. She hoped that the guy did not come to ruin things today. Interesting. So here in downtown we have not only Miss Diva and Mr. Big, but also another couple which is totally their opposite. Couple minutes later, arrived the not so nice Miss Diva, Nerissa Slew, the professional party guest. She wore a light yellow dress and walked elegantly on the red carpet. Followed by Ronan Lajoie, the movie actor. I know this one, I saw him many times on TV. Nina said she and Ronan also know each other. They met a couple times at the golf club, as we know that Nina is a golf caddy. And there it goes, the guy for the party, Mr. Big or Peter Gregory. We saw Nerissa came out to greet him by giving the hug. Nina seemed stunned by the charisma of Mr. Big. She said she really wanted to get to know him closer, but it was not easy for her. The only chance she had was a week ago. At the Crypto nightclub, she had a quick chat and drink before Nerissa took his attention away from her.
Brown!
The next one arriving was Taria Dai, the business tycoon with her limousine. She's a business person of exceptional wealth, power, and influence in Sims Nation. And this is the first time for Nina to meet Taria Dai. She was Mr. Big's special guest for the party. We saw him come out greeting Staria personally. The last guest star coming was Mr. Big's best friend, Stephen Player. He's a famous comedian in town. Nina didn't know this guy in person. Stephen Player was the last star of the party guest list, but we still saw some regular guests like us keep arriving. The party was such a blast, but to me it was a huge chance to gather all the clues, analyze people for the stalker suspects, since most of the guests were Nina's connection. We decided to return home earlier than the others, because I said to Nina that I still had a lot of things to be studied about her case. We talked inside the car before leaving. Nina said that she really had the interest in Peter Gregory, but as I could see that Nerissa was always on her way. Nina also said that Peter probably had a romantic relationship with Nerissa, but that was only claimed by Nerissa herself. Peter was so private about his love life. Nerissa also had a little clash with Staria, because she felt that Peter was nicer to her, but seems that Staria had no love interest in him. Staria just liked to connect to people that gain her benefits, either for her money, business, or popularity, but not for love, as we know that Peter has those factors for benefiting her. I asked Nina about her suspecting somebody in the party. She said it could be Nerissa, because since she didn't want anybody being closer to Peter than she was. And it could be also Ronan, since Nina has ever rejected him for a date. But after listening to the stalker on the phone, she became not so sure about that, because the stalker was reading the poem like he fluent in Spanish, and no one in the party could speak Spanish as Nina knew so far. But who knows, everything was left for me to solve. I arrived home around 10 p.m. and started analyzing the clues I gathered so far. Started from the phone recording which Nina sent me this morning. Are you as curious as I was? So here it went, the recording.
Hello? Podrá nublarse el sol eternamente, podrá secarse en un instante el mar, podrá romperse el eje de la tierra, como un débil cristal. Todo sucederá, podrá la muerte cubrirme con su fúnebre crespón, pero jamás en mí podrá apagarse la llama de tu amor. Hello, who is this? Hello, hello.
Well, I did not speak Spanish, so I just agree with Nina if the stalker was fluent in Spanish. So did Nina. Whether or not somebody could just easily took that poem reading from the internet. And Nina also sent me the text versions of it and the English translations as I requested.
Podrá nublarse el sol eternamente, podrá secarse en un instante el mar, podrá romperse el eje de la tierra, como un débil cristal. Todo sucederá, podrá la muerte cubrirme con su fúnebre crespón, pero jamás en mí podrá apagarse la llama de tu amor.
So, what do you think, guys? Do you have any thoughts so far about who the stalker was? If you do by now, you can post the video and write your thought in the comment below and see if you guess it right at the end of this case. Following up the recording, I typed a line of the poem trying to search the info about it in the internet, and it led me to this article. I went through line by line, and the fact that this was indeed a Spanish poem titled Amor Eterno, or Eternal Love in English, written by Gustavo Adolfo Bécquer. My searching continued to the writer, and brought me to the wiki page of his biography. The site read, Gustavo Adolfo Bécquer was a Spanish romantic poet and writer. I read the whole page of it and found something intriguing. He was born on 17 February 1836. Do you guys remember the date? It was also Peter's, aka Mr. Big. It was clear that he mentioned his birthday date in his greeting speech yesterday. I had a video recording about that. Was it just a coincidence? Well, to me, he was one of the potential stalkers, but I still needed the valid proofs. I also checked Gustavo's signature just to make sure whether or not it had some similarity with the stalkers, which in fact, it was nothing look-alike. And here was the video recording of Peter giving his birthday speech yesterday. I just wanted to check if he got the same or similar voice to the stalker.
Good evening, friends, and all my close associates. At long last, it's my 36th birthday, 17th of February, the day I've been looking forward to for so long. I couldn't be happier today because everyone is here to fill my heart with joy and to bless me. The best part is that no one is missing, and everyone has shown up today. Thank you all so much for taking time out of your busy schedules to help me and make this celebration more graceful. Indeed, this goes above and beyond what I could have asked for. I owe you a significant debt of gratitude for being such a patient audience, and I wish you all a good time.
What do you think, guys? Is his voice the same with the stalker reading the poem? I personally do not think it was him. Peter's voice sounds deeper than the Spanish one, but still not sure about that. Edgar Allan Poe said, "Believe nothing you hear and only one half that you see." Rumors are usually false, and sometimes the things we see can be misleading until there's a proof. It had been hours since I was on my desk. Let me now finish my investigation board before I go to sleepy. I pinned a letter from the stalker with a signature code first, and these were my suspects. The first one was Nerissa Slew, or Miss Diva, as Nina suspecting her because she knew that she also had a crush for Peter, so she could be paying somebody to do the terror to Nina. The second one was Peter Gregory, or Mr. Big. Even though the voice and his personality did not match the stalker, but the fact that his birthday date was the same with the poet whose poem read by the stalker on the phone could not be something to ignore. The next one was Ronan Lajoa, whom Nina rejected for a date. They often met at a golf club. Number 4 was Alan Akagi, the bartender at the PURE. I put this boy as he seemed fancying Nina, and of course he knew that he would not be able to get close to her. Moreover, he was the one who told me about the birthday party of Mr. Big. Critically, I could assume that he framed Mr. Big as a stalker by the poem, as both had the same birthday date. Too far thought, but why not? Number 5 was that troublemaker guy, the gas attendant whose name still unknown. Nina said that she had ever insulted him in front of people by throwing him a drink. So I thought it could be enough reason for him to give Nina the revenge by the bag of poo in front of her door, as he was humiliated before by Nina. I also put the paparazzi, Armando Cox, on the last list. Well, for this one, as a paparazzi, he could use his skill to sneak out, taking pictures of Nina and becoming her secret admirer. It would also be easy for him to track Nina out there, finding out which clubs Nina went. Knowing somebody's address and even family background would not be difficult for him, especially about somebody that he secretly admires. As we know that the stalker sent her email, flowers, letters directly to her house, and he also knew Nina's father was Spanish. And here are all clues I could list down. The stalker was fluent in Spanish. He read the poem by Gustavo Adolfo Bécquer, Amor Eterno. The signature code that I still needed to crack. The date 17th of February. And the gender, which could be 80% male. I was really too tired at that night, so I stopped my analysis before cracking the code. I really needed to focus on it tomorrow before I called Nina, and 6 p.m. was my own deadline. In the morning, I got a call from the Caliente, but it was Dina, Nina's twin sister. I thought that Nina wanted to tell me some other clues, but it was the opposite. She asked me to stop the investigation. She said that all of these are just scenario of Nina herself. Dina accused her sister may be a slight of lunatic, or perhaps there are split personalities of her at play here. So there were not any stalkers at all. When I thought again, there was still a possibility of Dina being right, but it could be also the twin sister rivalry as I found in my previous case in Pleasant Family. Remember Lilith and Angela? Maybe I should also put Nina on the suspect list. But I also see the internal conflict brewing when she found out that the stalkers were all in her head. I'm not sure what's worse, being stalked or being one's own worst enemy. But for now, I really need to focus on cracking the code. So I checked again the letter from the stalker that Nina gave me. I saw the code carefully and closely. You know what? When questions far outweigh the answers, sometimes the answer is staring you right in the face. Wow, I think I just cracked it. Have you guys? Just pause the video and write the comment if you also have the code cracked. And continue to watch because I will reveal it shortly. So now let's go straight away to my computer and crack the code. I tried to recreate the code, and if my analysis was right, I just need to put all of the characters close to each other, rearrange the order, and flip them one by one like you saw them through the mirror. And voila, I got you, Peter. So guys, tell me about your decoding. Did you get it right? Are you now on the same page with me? Still not valid enough for accusing? Then I moved on the flowers. In fact that we could not find any florist either in Pleasant View or downtown selling those red rose bouquet. So I surfed the internet here and there until it led me to this newsletter published a year ago. And oh my god, I found some extra puzzle pieces here. It published with the people on the picture. Peter, Staria, Narissa, Ronan, and I do not know these two, and the red rose bouquet. And the news read, Mr. Big birthday for the opening of De La Rosa Florist. Peter Gregory or Mr. Big has announced the opening of De La Rosa Florist in Bluewater Village coincide with his 35th birthday celebration in Crypto nightclub, Wednesday, 17 February 2021. The florist runs by his friend from college, Florence De La Rosa, in Bluewater Village. She icons the bouquet of the magnificent red roses that you will not find in any other flower stores in town. Wow, so that was why we couldn't find those bouquets here. They were only sold by the florist named De La Rosa in Bluewater Village. And I believe that the lady stand posing next to Peter was Florence De La Rosa, the owner. Then I searched about the De La Rosa florist. It opened, and located in 15 Lake Middle Circle, Bluewater Village. So I did not want to waste any time. I gotta go out of town for investigating the red rose bouquet. And I guessed it would take me around 2 hours driving to Bluewater Village, and it was 1 p.m. when I left home. After nearly 2 hours driving, I arrived in Bluewater Village, 15 Lake Middle Circle, where the De La Rosa florist was located. When I entered the store, the smell was so flowery nice, and their special best-selling red rose bouquet were displayed right on the center of the store. And there was a lady approach me. I believe she was the owner and the florist, Florence De La Rosa. She said I came right on time since she just restocked the store with the fresh roses. She also showed me another bouquet of roses with different color that she sells in her store. before suddenly I got the incoming call. The call was from Nina. She told me that she had just received another letter from the stalker, and it was different from the usual. The letter was in a black envelope with the red school wax seal stamp. The letter read, "You shall suffer, no one can help and no one can protect." She said it was getting serious. She would see the police to get the update of her case. I said to Nina to wait for me and see the police together because I was closer to the truth to uncover the stalker, and I promised her that I would bring along the valid proof about who the stalker was, since I have cracked the signature code. But I did not tell her yet that it was actually close to 100% that the stalker was Mr. Big, the guy that she admired all this time. Now, let's get back to the florist. I said to Florence that I came far from Pleasant View just to hunt that famous red roses bouquet because she did not sell them anywhere else. I told her that I was looking for this bouquet for my important business partner, Peter Gregory. She was excited hearing that name. She said Peter was also her friend. Florence said that Peter indeed a big fan of the red roses and also the snapdragon, so I made a perfect choice. She also said that recently Peter made a huge order like 20 of red roses bouquet. Wow, that's it, I got another piece of puzzle to place. She asked if I wanted her to send that directly to 125 Waterfront Drive in downtown. I pretend to know the address before she confirmed that it was Peter's house. I just said to her that I will give it personally to Peter myself and thank her for offering me the service. I was so happy that I just got another piece of puzzle unexpectedly. So, guess what's next? Yes, sneaking out in 125 Waterfront Drive in Pleasant View downtown. The house of Mr. Big. Here I was, 125 Waterfront Drive where Mr. Big lived. Well, I would be surprised if the house was not this big. And I saw nobody pick up the newspaper, so I hope no one in the house at that time. Otherwise, I will have to create another story. I went right to the front door and I could not believe what I just saw. There was a Spanish poet painting hanging on the wall, and the red roses bouquets are all over the place. So I pick up my phone to record this absolute proof. That was the painting of Gustavo Adolfo, the Spanish poet, and of course the red roses bouquets. And the letters. Was that the Black Terror letter Nina said to me before? And was that Nina? Phew, I gotta go quick. Are you guys as shocked as I was? Now I needed to go back home to put all the puzzle pieces together before meeting Nina and the cops. I was so excited yet exhausted. I was printing all of the evidences I collected from Mr. Big House and will bring them to the police. And again, I got a call from Nina. She said she was in Red's famous 50 dinner, waiting for the police. They had the appointment at 7:30. I said to Nina, do not be shocked because the stalker was Peter, aka Mr. Big. She said she could not believe what I just said. I might be wrong because the police said to her that they have already got the suspect and he was not Mr. Big. Wait, what? I better get going now. When I arrived at the cafe, I saw the police car parked before me, so I guess Nina was already on the meeting at that time. They were. I joined their table right away. It was Officer Appreciate the Peace, the one that also handled my previous case before, and also Officer Jordan Hamilton. So, before they told me their suspect, I submitted my evidences for accusing Peter Gregory as the stalker. They were quite surprised and just said that my accusation to him did not make any sense. I also told them about the bouquets and also the signature code. I was really curious who their suspect was, and they showed me the picture of the blonde guy, and he was the gas station guy, a troublemaker. They also showed me his employee ID card, and his name gave me chills. Adolf Gustav, born 22 December 1991. Was it coincidence that his name is similar to the Spanish poet Gustavo Adolfo Becker? And the date, I need to make sure since I remember that I have ever read that somewhere. On the other photo, I saw another attendant. When I looked closely, she was the dirty-looking lady I saw at Mr. Big Party, another troublemaker. Officer DePease said that she was Solveig Jordan, Adolf's co-worker. The police had been coordinating with her to shed the light on this case since Solveig was close enough to Adolf and they were working together in racetrack for 3 years. Oh, great, the two troublemakers working together. The officers took my evidence submission and they said that they will definitely consider about it. Their accusation on Adolf Gustav was not final. They still needed to collect more valid proofs about him being the stalker. Nina looked so depressed at that time. I tried to comfort her and do as best as I can to solve her case. I said to Nina I would go to racetrack gas station after this to speak with Solveig. I arrived at a racetrack gas station around 8:40, and I saw a lady standing lazily, Solveig Jordan. I introduced myself as a private detective investigating the stalker case which involved her co-worker Adolf Gustav. She said 2 police officers had been in touch with her for the past couple days, asking about Adolf. She welcomed me to talk and led me to the corner of the shop next to the car park area. She said this was the place where employees having a break time for meals and hang out with each other. Then she began to talk. Solveig and Adolf first met in this gas station. They had been co-workers for 3 years. She joined the company in April 2019, just a week before Adolf. She explained to me that there were 3 shifts for the gas station attendant, and in here they have 7 attendants. And she was on the evening shift today, together with Victor McLennan. And Adolf had morning shift today, which was 7 a.m. to 5:30 in the evening, and he went home around 6:30. But yesterday, Adolf went home earlier, around 1 p.m. He was feeling unwell, so she had to come earlier to pick up, and she saw his face was so pale that Solveig convinced that he was sick. I said to Solveig that I saw the employee card of Adolf, and it was written that the card was issued on April 2021. And she said that it was because the company policy to renew the ID card of every 2 years, so that the card the police had was actually Adolf's second card. She also showed me their previous card that they had. It was written that their first card was issued 2 years ago, which related with what Jordan said about the company policy. I asked if by any chance she had employee file with Adolf's signature on it, and she showed me this. The goods delivery for the store receipt that Adolf signed for their store manager, Dominic Gray, who was not in the office at that time. And of course, I was not surprised. It was not a code, it was just a usual signature of Adolf Gustav. Well, I got it. So that was how he did it. That was how he was. Poor Peter Gregory. Adolf Gustav. And the police did a good job on their investigation by putting Adolf as the suspect. But just one thing that they still did not notice. I thanked Solveig for her time and information, and I went back home with peace in the head. I would definitely sleep well after this exhausting long day. Now, while I'm sleeping, I leave it to you guys to put all of the puzzles into place and make your own conclusion.
How may I help you, officer?
Adolf Gustav, you are under arrest for the stalking of Nina Caliente. You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can and will be used against you in a court of law. You have the right to an attorney. If you cannot afford one will be appointed for you.
But officer, I was not stalking Nina, that was how I expressed my love to Nina Caliente.
A man named Adolf Gustav accused of stalking a woman arrested by the police's officers from Pleasant View Downtown Police Department. After more than a week of investigation, this morning the suspect has been located and in his house, 37 Greves Avenue, Pleasant View Downtown. The officers found the black goggle and mask in his cabinet at his locker room and racetrack gas station where he works. The valid proofs also found in his house, some painting and photos of the woman of his victim, collected and painted by the suspect, can be found in the living room, kitchen and also his bedroom. People who stalk victims and devastate their lives can be sent to jail for longer. The maximum custodial sentence available to the courts for stalking will increase from 5 to 10 years, and from 7 to 14 years if the offense was racially or religiously aggravated.
Good morning, guys. Is there any news about Adolf Gustav? I wonder if the police has arrested him. You must wonder how I could sleep with peace in the head while my accusation was to Peter Gregory or Mr. Big with all of the valid proofs I have collected, but the one that was arrested was Adolf Gustav. Well, let me explain you then. Peter Gregory was medically identified of having dissociative identity disorder, or it is also called DID or multiple personality disorder. DID, previously called multiple personality disorder, is usually a reaction to a trauma as a way to help a person to avoid bad memories. A DID is characterized by the presence of two or more distinct personality identities. Each may have a unique name, personal history, and characteristics. When Adolf was interrogated, he said he did not know Peter Gregory at all, and he can change to be Peter in just a split second. And same to Peter that he did not know who Adolf was, and he was so shocked finding himself in a jail when he knew nothing about the crime Adolf did. In the end, his imprisonment punishment was delayed by the guarantee of his aunt. Peter was sent to the hospital to get his DID therapy, which was cognitive therapy. It can help individuals with dissociative disorder focus on identifying unhealthy, negative behaviors and replace them with the positive ones. And for Peter, it was for the uncertain time. I got a call from Nina. She was so relieved that her case had met its end, but yet she was still shocked about what happened. It must be confusing to her that the stalker was actually the one that she adored, but in different identity and character. She thanked me to all my assistance, supports, and efforts I made for solving her case. And she said that she just transferred me 2,000 simoleon to my bank account as her gratitude. So guys, what do you think about my second case? Did you find it interesting? Should I be a private detective instead and start to open my own office? Anyway, thank you so much guys for watching and see you soon in my next case. I'm really looking forward to having the one that is more challenging. Bye bye!